Hi everyone. This should be a lot less difficult for me because I teach public speaking at a community college, but I am terrified right now, so bear with me.
We love you, honey.
Oh, thank you. I'm going to tell you a story today about the only Santa that I have ever known, and some of you are thinking like, what? We all know who Santa is, right? But come on, like, we know who the idea of Santa is, and the Santa we've seen in the mall, we've all seen that Santa, but we don't know Santa. The Santa I'm talking about is my dad. My last name is Santa Maria, which is awesome. Let's be honest, I really love my last name. And my dad is a high school history teacher, and so he's beloved by all his students, and they nicknamed him Santa. Okay, so that's a lot to live up to as a young woman who wants to be a professor. You know, I want to get into the teaching world, and I want to be someone who's as respected as my dad, and they love him so much that they actually call him Santa. They call him someone whose 3 core values, I think, are just the most admirable of all. And those that I've come to identify are actually ones that I found in my own dad. And that is a spirit of giving, a spirit of guidance, and good cheer. And I think my dad represents all 3 of those things. So I want to tell you 3 short stories about my dad. The first one is good cheer. My dad is the kind of person who will create a Facebook page for a turtle and literally gain like hundreds of followers. And after I'm done, it's so ridiculous. My dad's a high school history teacher, his friend's an art teacher, and they have this pet turtle named Tippy. So when I'm done talking, I want everyone to get on their phone and go on Facebook and look for Tippy the turtle, because there's 4th of July videos, there's like political rants about Mitch McConnell looking like a turtle. It's excellent. Okay, so my dad just wants everyone to be happy. That's good cheer. All right, so my dad is also a source of guidance for me. I remember one of the most impactful stories the impactful lesson my dad taught me was the day after I got my license. Okay, I'm driving and I'm sticking out a little bit too far in the intersection. He's like, you gotta back up, they're gonna hit you. I'm like, crap. All right, so I'm backing up. I back up right into this lady's car. And I'm like, shit! Like, I'm so pissed. It's the day after I got my license. And he's like, you're gonna be working the whole summer at Marshall's, shout out to Marshall's, for a whole summer to pay this bumper off. But you're gonna do it because this is what it is to be a driver. So he taught me morally, like, you gotta take responsibility for your actions. And the last thing is my dad has a huge spirit of giving. And I mean, I'm not spoiled, but I definitely was spoiled time-wise. Growing up, my dad, I was like, Dad, let's build a go-kart. Because I saw those movies on, you know, ABC, Showtime, and all that stuff. Not Showtime. Showtime's like, whoa, chill. I'm not watching Showtime with my dad. No, I'm like, you know, oh, like, Dad, let's go build a go-kart. And then I actually was like, Dad, let's build a go-kart. He was like, all right. So we did. We built a go-kart when I was little. He gave that to me, this memory. He built a treehouse with me. My dad is Santa to me because he's the most giving person I've ever known. And you would think that I would be appreciative of that, and, you know, I would live my whole life trying not to mess up anything for my dad's life. But, you know, when you're 13, life sucks, right? Like, how many people literally hated life when they were 13? Cool, me too, what's up? So when I was 13, I had a really weird, stressful time where what-if questions were just all the time. Just like, but not your typical what-if questions. They were like, what if I do drugs, like, immediately because I'm in DARE and I'm scared? And then I realized that the questions I was having were the result of what's called obsessive-compulsive disorder. Who has obsessive-compulsive disorder? Maybe kind of. So some of you say you have it, but you don't actually have it. Like, I take medicine for it. I have it like that. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So the what-if questions I was having were a result of what's called bad thought OCD, where literally every scary thought you have as a teenager becomes a reality, and then you talk to your parents about every single one of those thoughts. Okay, so it became really scary, and I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat. My dad's like, I don't deserve this shit, I built a go-kart with her, what the hell? And it's just terrible. And so I remember, and I'm laughing now because it's like, you guys asked for a Santa story, and this is my connection to Santa besides my dad's name. My dad, the one moment my dad wasn't a rock in my life, but then I realized later that this was being a rock. He had a picture of me sitting on Santa's lap, not a creepy Santa, a cool Santa, And this whole OCD thing was going on, and he just broke down and started crying. Like, and I'm talking like laying on the couch in a fetal position. Like, he couldn't understand why his cheerful little girl was just broken. And that's the only time I've ever seen my dad cry out of sadness and out of weakness. But then I realized it takes strength, as we were talking before with the gentleman who spoke about the women that he used to not be interested in, and then this one woman broke his heart. It takes strength as a man to show that you feel something. And so I wanted to talk today about the one Santa that I've known, the only Santa I've ever known, and I hope that in my career and in my life I can emulate my father as much as possible with his giving, guiding light. Thank you.